Okay, welcome to Score Catwork with Hail Score and AR Direct. This is really an informative session or webinar to help you understand what's going on in a relationship between IAPath and AR Direct to help you get into more catastrophes or maybe your first catastrophe deployment this year. We are really excited about the partnership with AR Direct, and I'm excited that you're here. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. A lot of times these webinars go an hour or more. I really don't want to go that long. I really want to get through this. I really want you to have an understanding of the relationship between IAPath and AR Direct and how you can benefit from it. That's really what this is all about. So here we go. Score catastrophe deployments and learn hail estimating online. I have been an adjuster for 8 years and a catastrophic adjuster for 5 years, almost exclusively for hail, and I've never seen an opportunity come up like this for adjusters. And this is the kind of thing that the IAPath exists for, is to help you transition from where you are to where you want to be. So this graphic sums up exactly what it's all about. A lot of times, no matter where you're at on this scale, you can kind of see, oh yeah, that's where I'm at in my career as an adjuster. That's where I'm at in my career as an appraiser. So a lot of us, we start off as dreamers. You know, we might be delivering pizzas, we're working We Go Look, we're working side jobs, we don't have a license, we're struggling. Maybe we're driving for Uber. Maybe we just started working for a nationwide company, just trying to get our foot in the door, and we're making $500 a month side income, and it's great. $500 a month is nothing to sneeze at. That can help you get out of debt. That can help you pay your bills. That can help you with a lot of different things. But then there comes a point where you kind of shift up to being an appraiser. You're more involved. This is becoming more and more the real deal. You're working one or two companies, but you have lots of income valleys. You're frustrated, maybe even have a license obtained, but you're trying to prove yourself. And that's the key. You got to prove yourself in this arena before you can kind of reach the level of adjuster. And you don't actually have to be an adjuster to be at this level, but it's just kind of for a scale purpose to understand. You might be a staff adjuster, you might be an estimator at a body shop, or as an IA, you might be working 3 to 5 companies. You're gaining your reputation, you're finding your traction, and the key is you're becoming efficient. When you become efficient as an appraiser, you also become an adjuster, really, even if you're only working in an appraiser capacity. And then, but where a lot of guys want to be, and a lot of people exit at any of these points, you could stop. I was at an appraiser level for a long time, making $2,000 to $3,000 a month, working part-time. I just started doing that again this fall. As an adjuster, yeah, you might be making $40,000, $50,000 a year, working 52 weeks out of the year, and with your weeks off. But a lot of people aspire to become a storm chaser, and if you're here today, you're probably aspiring to be a storm chaser, and that's excellent, because as you see the progression here, we start off making $500 a month. Well, when you hit storm chaser, if you can succeed in that, you start making $500 a day. And that's what today's webinar is really all about. That's what I'm trying to share with you about at the IAPath. That's what I'm trying to connect you to AR Direct about, who is powering Hail Score, which I'll tell you about a little bit more about here in a minute. But it's truly powering you to learn hail estimating to get you to that storm chaser level. I don't want you waiting around for your golden ticket. I want you going after it, doing the things you can do to become a storm chaser. Okay? And the keys to success there is to learn hail estimating, and that's what Hail Score and IAPath and AR Direct is all coming together to provide for you. Okay, so I may have got your attention there, but you might still be wondering, who the heck are you? My name is Chris Stanley. I've been an IA, an independent adjuster or appraiser, interchangeable there, for 8 years, almost 9. And I have a real passion for helping you as an appraiser or an adjuster either get started or transition to cat duty. I find that there's not a whole lot of help in real people out there. There's lots of organizations and they do a great job, but there's just something missing in this industry, in my opinion, of a real person who's there willing to get down with you and say, where are you at? What do you need help with? And let me see if I can help you get there. And so I created a podcast, I created an online course, and a web presence dedicated to adjuster placement and training. Okay, so that's kind of who I am. I've done everything from being a day-to-day adjuster or appraiser all the way up to being a national operations manager for a paintless dent repair company and everything in between. Managing an independent appraisal company over 2 states, project manager for paintless dent repair companies. I've done a lot of different things. And it's not, I want you to hear this, it's not that I'm smarter than you that I'm here talking in front of you. It's not that I'm a better adjuster than you or I'm better at estimatics or any of that. The only reason I feel confident enough to stand here today is just like the local fishermen and the local boaters who guide, cruise ships with captains who make all this money, but the cruise ships at certain inlets, they have to follow in a local guide. Why? Why does that have to happen? Why is a local fisherman trusted by a huge cruise ship that is generating millions of dollars? Why would they follow the fisherman in? Because he does it over and over and over. And the only reason I feel confident enough to stand here today and help you get started in your catastrophe career or transition or find additional work is just because I've done it over and over and over, and I've seen how it works. I know what you have to know and what you don't. It's not that I'm smarter, and I am here literally to guide you and say, hey, this is all you got to worry about. Let's learn it together, and with AR Direct's help, we'll get you placed. Okay? So I just want to make that very clear, because this industry, a lot of times people look at each other and go, well, you're not as smart as me. I'm probably not. Okay? That is not what this is about. I am here to guide you on what you need to know to be deployed and to make you and AR Direct successful. Okay, here's a little bit about AR Direct. And those of us who have been in the industry a little bit are kind of surprised at how fast AR Direct is just making a scene. I mean, they're coming on strong. And A Direct was born from a think tank of the industry's most knowledgeable and forward-thinking executives. These guys wanted to change things. They wanted to break things. They work in everything. But the core of who they are, the core of their business model is not even based in catastrophe. So their revenue is not dependent on this catastrophe deal. They're a solid company. Even though you might not know them as a catastrophe company, they are solid because what they do is they provide sellers the ability to list vehicles for sale online without having to move the vehicles. These guys are huge in total loss management and claims processing. They're the real deal. They're making a big splash, and they're at the cusp of becoming something huge. And what we're here today is to talk about how you could participate in that and you can benefit from this. So these guys are serious. I spent a lot of time talking to them, and very shortly we'll have an interview for you to be able to listen to online with the executive director, and he will be sharing about that vision, about what's going on, so you can hear from him firsthand. But guys, you just got to take my word on this, that these guys are serious and they want you to be a part of this, and it's so exciting, the opportunity they're presenting you. But check them out online. It's ar.direct, but go check them out. Okay, so Hail Score. We talked a little bit about me, which I am IA Path, the independent appraiser path, and we've talked about AR Direct a little bit, but I've been throwing around this term Hail Score. And Hail Score is the course that IA Path has created and is still creating, and it's powered by AR Direct. AR Direct approached me and said, we want you to put together a course. We see you're passionate about adjusters, you're passionate about appraisers, and making sure they're trained and placed. So what I want you to do is create a Hail course to help us staff our catastrophe needs. We want to make sure our guys know what they're doing before they hit the ground. And so Hail Score was born out of this desire for new guys and veterans to come together and create an amazing catastrophe team that revolves around customer service. And so what I'm going to go through now is just kind of what Hail Score is all about and what we're going to go over in that course. Today is not that course. Today is just so you can understand what's going on, understand the field, and see how you can get involved. So here, we're going to go look at the course overview, and then I'm going to break down each one of these modules one by one so you get an idea of what IA Path is going to be giving you and how it's going to help you translate to being deployed with AR Direct. Okay, so you can see here, the number one module, first step in this Hail Score course is the decision. Okay, we're going to go into all these. Then the call, that's the deployment call. Then the setup, what is a setup like on a cat storm? Then the line, this is the cat line. What's the process start to finish from a customer's vantage point? Number 5 is the introduction of you to the customer, what you should say, what you shouldn't say, what you should expect. The inspection, okay, this is probably the heaviest module out of all of them because it's all about how to inspect a hail damaged car and know what you're looking for. And then the estimate, this is more CCC1 and estimatics, how to know how to do the job of inputting a hail damage scope sheet that you created in the inspection. Then there's the review. You take that estimate, you review it with the customer, and how to do that properly with the right scripts, with the right checklists, all the way throughout this whole thing. And we're going to go into each module now briefly to kind of talk what some of the stuff is going to be inside of these modules. Okay, the decision. Is catastrophe adjusting right for you? Everyone hears the glory stories of catastrophe adjusters making big money on catastrophes, and that does happen. But not everybody is cut from the same cloth, and not everybody is meant to do catastrophic adjusting. It's something that's in the blood and in your DNA, and if you get out there and it wasn't right for you, I failed, AR Direct has failed, and you failed yourself, and everybody's going to be worse off. So I want you in the first module to really understand what it's all about and to be able to make that decision strongly to move on to module 2 and say, this is right for me, I want to do it. Okay. Is this the right path for you to walk? I'm going to go through these things real quick. We're going to go through them in detail in the course, but man, this is exciting. It's an exciting opportunity. Getting called to drive to Dallas from North Carolina is exciting, but you have to be available sometimes in 24 hours. So if you're in North Carolina, you might have 3 hours to pack up and get going to Dallas and drive all night. That's not everybody's idea of fun, okay? But it is exciting. It's great pay. You know, $500 a day or more with AR Direct, up to $1,000. Depending on if your certain benchmarks and check marks and commissions and things. That's great pay, but there's no guarantee. It may not hail this year, and that would be a really big bummer for you, for me, for AR Direct, for all these other companies who do catastrophes. There's no guarantee, but that's why you're paid so well, is you're paid to drop what you're doing and go, even though there's no guarantee of work, because the moment it comes, they're asking you to be there. That's why there's great pay. Travel for weeks or months out of the year. Some people do really well with traveling. Some people, like me, travel with their family, and this makes for a great experience traveling. Other people hate to travel. They don't like it. They don't like being away from their family, and I get that. So if your family can't travel with you and you don't like traveling and staying in hotels, that kind of makes you nervous, this may not be for you. But we want to know that now before you get into the second module. We want you to be able to make a decision for yourself, because it's hard work. You work in 12 hours a day, and you're working with people in awkward situations at times. To be able to look an owner in the face and tell them that your glass is not related to hail or does not appear to be caused by hail, that is hard. And sometimes it's very awkward, and if you don't do well with people, one-on-one interaction, if you just want to hide in a computer somewhere in a dark alley and hide behind an IT name, this is probably not for you. So we talk about all that in the course and a whole lot more. Okay, step 2. So module 2, step 2, I call them steps. The call, what to expect and do when you're deployed. When you get that call, you got to know what you want to do, and you're so excited, you're so nervous, you're so scared, you're going to mess it up, but iPath has your back, and we'll go through all the different things you need to do, including what to plan, what to pack, and to prepare. What did you need to do before the call? That's the pre-call. What do you need to do during the call? What information do you need to get? You're so fuzzy and trying to figure out if this is even right for you. You don't even know what you're supposed to be asking. Well, we give you those things of what you're supposed to do when you get that call. And then after the call, what do you need to pack up before you hop in your car and drive cross country? what do you need to have prepared in your personal life to make sure that the next 3 weeks of your life is set up for you in AR Direct to succeed. All this is going to be in the course. Okay, so step 3 is the setup. You've arrived, you're on site, but now what? You've never been on a cat line before, or you've been before, maybe it's not the same setup. You got to know how to get in there and figure this out. So it's game time and you're wondering what's the plan. You need to understand the lay of the land, the relationships that are involved, who you're actually working for, who you're representing on the cat line, where you're going to set your computer up. You know, maybe the shop's telling you to set up over here, but you realize because of what we're going to show you, you need to set yourself up for success to be closer to the owner and the insured where they're going to be so you can see what's going on and make sure the customer service is to the level it needs to be. But how do you know how to figure all that out? You're overwhelmed as it is showing up. So we're going to talk about that, what your setup needs to look like, the kind of things that you need to look for and watch out for, and that's in that module 3. Then step 4 in the module 4, the line. This is the cat line process start to finish from the owner's perspective because it's important to have empathy and understanding for what the owner's going through. And I break it down real simple. The cat line process from an owner's perspective, once they're on site with you, is the introduction, the inspection, the estimate, and the review. And those are the following 4 chapters from your perspective, what you need to do to be successful in each 4 of those steps. So step 5, the introduction. This is the meet and greet time where you are representing an insurance company, going out, introducing yourself, making that first impression. If you nail that first impression, I promise you the rest of your job is so much easier. If you have the owner's trust, it's going to be a better day for you. So I go over things like 4 keys to a successful inspection conversation. When you go to a customer, it's important to understand that there's the introduction, you introducing yourself and who you're representing, hearing their story. Every owner and insured has a story to tell. If you pay attention to the story, you're going to earn the respect, you're going to make a connection, and you're going to have a great start to that relationship. Then number 3, you're going to confirm the damage. Repeat it back to them what you heard them say because they probably told you a lot of the things they care about, and when you repeat back something to them, they feel like you paid attention to them, you heard them, and that you're going to take care of them. And then setting the right expectations. So Mr. Smith, it'll be about 20 minutes. I'll come get you when I'm done. I'm going to look at the damage, write up everything, and then key it into the estimating system and get you a print off copy. I'll come get you when I'm done. Setting that right expectation the right way is so important. I figured up that I've estimated around 10,000 hail estimates and over 30,000 collision and hail combined. You don't learn this the first time, but I'm trying to give you the shortcut to get there because I've made so many mistakes. I've said things wrong so many times that there is a right way to say it, and I want to help you jump right to the right way of how to say it. And this is just some of the things that are in that introduction section. Okay, step 6 or module 6, the inspection. Now you've got the owner. We've set the expectation. We've had the conversation. It's now time to turn your attention to the car and how do you scope hail damage. Okay, scoping hail damage. It's all about part identification, knowing what part you're looking at, what parts get damaged by hail. The hail PDR matrix, how you utilize it, how you use it, because this is important. If you don't know how to use a hail matrix and you show up to write a hail estimate, you're going to be overwhelmed. So we go through that step by step, what you need to know, give you practice sessions so you can practice on your own. And when you get to that storm, you can make a great impression to AR Direct and to IAPath and get deployed a second time. Because it's all about your performance. And the more you know and the more comfortable you are before you get there, the better you're going to perform. We talk about repair versus replace. The right order to do things, because there is a right order. Not because it's the right order, but because it's an order in which you can do it and make sure you never miss anything. Understanding the repair as a whole. You need to understand the repair as a whole from a body shop perspective so you can write a better estimate and take better scoping notes. And then the repair operations. In case you're not familiar with the repair operations or what they mean, we cover all that in this module 6, the inspection. Okay, step 7, the estimate. Keying in the scope sheet. So now you got a scope sheet. You got to go sit down at a computer and you're going to type all this up. You're going to put it into CCC1 90% of the time. How do you do that? How do you put in paintless dent repair? So the CCC1 in inputting hail damage, it's easier than collision. So if you've ever written a collision estimate, I promise it's easier than putting in a collision estimate. It's so easy. And what's the proper use of PDR and what is PDR? You need to understand these things, not only for yourself, but for the owner of the vehicle to be able to explain to them what's going on. PDR versus repair versus replace. How to use CCC1 to justify which one or compare which of these operations you should be using on the estimate, because you need to make a good decision. That re-inspector may look at your estimate and go, I can't believe they replaced this $3,300 roof. They should have done PDR for $2,000. Well, you need to know how to make those decisions on your own, on the fly, and be able to justify what you do with line notes. And then the R&I cheats. Most of the time, this stuff is repetitive. 90% of the time, you do this. And I'm going to give you all that in module number 7. Step 8, the review. Once you've got an estimate at a CAT line, you print it off, you walk over to the customer, and you review it with them. Them understanding what you wrote, that you were fair to them, and understanding why you did what you did is crucial to their satisfaction and to the insurance carrier. If that owner comes away and files a complaint because you weren't clear or didn't give them the proper time of day to explain their estimate, you're going to hear about it and you're probably not going to get called back again. It all comes back to customer service. So I have some tips in this part of the course, and this module is, you got to keep it simple. It's all about keeping it simple. How to read an estimate simply. How to explain PDR and all the other operations simply. The right way to discuss repair options, and the wrong way, how most people normally do. And then what happens if you miss something? How do you approach that situation? What is the right procedure for that? So all that's covered in that module number 8. So what I'm telling you right here, right now, is that AR Direct has promised that if you get your Hail Score IAPass certification, you will be eligible for deployment no matter what your experience level is. If I have signed off and IAPass has signed off saying you are competent and can be put into the field and you've completed the Hail Score course, it does not matter your experience level. Okay, this is important because normally people are looking for experienced guys. Normally, you can't get into a catastrophe unless you visited a city like Dallas, Irving, Denver, Mobile, and shown up, gone through a little bit of testing, and then you're at the bottom of a 900-person roster. Well, you're on the ground floor here, and they are wanting to certify you through the IAPath by March 1st, so you are on the core team that AR Direct is building. And because I want you to succeed, not just in Hail, but I want you to succeed as an adjuster. When you sign up for the Hail Score course, you're also going to get my first course, Crash Course is what it's called, completely free. This is how to be a day-to-day collision appraiser or adjuster. And this is so when you get done with your deployment or until your deployment, you can go find work and learn how to write an estimate, a collision estimate, how to do that job, and as I call it, bridge the income valleys. Because one of the biggest things about catastrophe work is it's so painful to get started. It's so hard to get your income up consistently enough. But if you have something to go back to which is what Crash Course teaches you, to go back to how to do collision estimating in your hometown, you're going to be that much more valuable. You're going to understand the vehicle and the process that much more, and you're going to be able to survive the income valleys and the income gaps that catastrophe can bring. So you need to sign up for HailScore and get Crash Course completely free. That's because AR Direct is sponsoring this course. And AR Direct has asked me to lower the price down because they want you guys to have a shot at this, even if you're new. So by them sponsoring the course, not only are you getting that Crash Course, but you're getting it at $300. If you're deployed one time in the next calendar year by AR Direct for one day, you've made way more money than what you spent on this course. So I'm telling you, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. This is unprecedented, the opportunity that they're presenting to new adjusters and appraisers. And in most of their deployment situations, the way they have it set up, you don't even have to have an adjuster's all lines license at this point. That gives you a bonus and does increase your deployability, but you do not have to have your Texas all lines or your state all lines to be deployed. They have some customer service roles you can come in on. And all their deployments are around $500 a day and up. So I'm telling you, this is a great opportunity for you, and you can see it right there in the offers. Get HailScore for $300, and you're going to get Crash Course completely free. That's because of what AR Direct is doing. That's an amazing deal. And they're going to put you on their active roster as soon as you are certified. So get the course today. I'm going to have weekly calls discussing questions that you might have in the course, because you know what? I'm human and I may miss something. I'm human and I may say something in a way you don't understand, and I want you to be able to get that straight. So every Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to have some phone conferences for you to be able to jump on and go, Chris, I don't understand, because I'm here to make sure you succeed. I'm going to be personally there to guide you along the way, calling you, staying in touch to make sure you succeed not only with the course, but with AR Direct's deployments. I'm going to be there the entire time. AR Direct is pulling me into the process to make sure I can groom you start to finish and make sure you have somebody to call and that you're not scared to ask somebody a question, because that's what I'm here for. And I was here the entire time. We speak the same language because it's my language that you learned from. So sign up today. Get it for $300. It's a bargain for what you're getting. And this course could probably be completed in 2 or 3 days. It's not completely finished yet. We're putting the final touches on it, and it'll go live here in the next week or so. And when it goes live, if you've already signed up, you're going to get that Crash Course completely free. And you're also going to be the first opportunity to complete and be certified. And the order of certification does matter on deployments. So if you were here certified February 15th, you have importance over someone who comes on later. So go ahead, act now, sign up, stay in contact with me, start the Crash Course, start learning, and then when that HailScore course is pushed out to you and says it's live, go ahead and jump in, dive into it, because hail season's upon us. March 1st, it's on. And you don't know when we're going to call, and you're going to need to be ready and have your certification already in hand from iPath, and then I will have passed it on from me onto AR Direct, so you are on their active roster. This is the only way for you to get on their active roster. So act now. Go to iPath.com or click the link that's in the webinar and the offers page and get started. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and if you've wanted to be a catastrophic adjuster, I promise you, there's never been a better way to get started. This is such a low barrier to entry, and it's going to have so much support around you to make sure that you succeed. You don't normally get that. I've done it other ways, and this is amazing. Guys, thank you. If you have questions, keep putting it in the chat box. We'll hang around for a little bit. Email me, chris@iapath.com. Connect to me on LinkedIn. But most importantly, go get HailScore right now, because you get Crash Course free. And upon certification, you're added to AR Direct's deployment roster. Thank you guys for your time.